Angles are formed by two rays with a common endpoint. This common endpoint is called the vertex. The rays are considered the sides of the angle. So my two sides would be ray BC and ray BA. We can name an angle by 3 points, but the vertex point has to be in the middle. So we can call this angle ABC, or we can call this angle CBA. B is in the middle because the vertex has to be in the middle. We can also name it by the vertex point if there's only one angle. So in this case, I could also call this angle B. Notice the symbol I have to put in front. Sometimes there's a tiny number in here, so if I draw an angle over to the side and I put the number 2 in there, we can call this angle 2. So we can use the number inside the angle. Okay, when I talk about basic types, I'm asking you to classify. So this is an acute angle less than 90 degrees. This is an obtuse angle greater than 90. This is exactly 90 degrees, so we call that a right angle. And then this one, if you can see, it forms a line. We call this a straight angle. Adjacent angles have a common side. So in this case, we have two angles here. We have angle 1 and angle 2. They're adjacent because they share side BD. Some of your angle vocabulary, we just went over angles. We said they have sides. The sides are made out of rays. Angles also have vertices or vertexes, and we can name an angle by 3 letters. Vertex has to be in the middle. Adjacent angles have a common side. So in this case, my common ray is BC. Okay, angle addition postulate is just like segment addition postulate, except for instead of adding segments together, we're going to add angles. So my angles are HIK. That's this angle right here, angle HIK. I'm going to add that to angle KIJ. When I add those together, I'm going to get the total. The total angle is HIJ. So angle addition postulate, you add together the parts to get the total. Okay, angle bisector. An angle bisector splits an angle into two congruent angles. So my angle bisector is ray YW, and that creates two angles that are congruent. So we give them the same swoosh. In my picture, I put 80 degrees and 80 degrees. So those two angles are equal or congruent to each other. Vertical angles are a little different. Okay, vertical angles are made up of intersecting lines. Vertical angles will always be congruent. So in my example, angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles that are across from each other. Angle 2 and angle 4 are also vertical angles that are across from each other. Vertical angles will always be congruent. So in this case, angle 2 is congruent to angle 4, and angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Last but not least, we have a linear pair. If you look at angle MOP, this angle forms a straight line. We said straight angles add up to be 180 degrees. Linear pairs have to be adjacent or touching, and they have to add together to equal 180. So they have a sum of 180 degrees.